I'm Halie Berry with the Daily Utah Chronicle, and I have with me Kim Brenneisen of the Daily Utah Chronicle, and we are here to talk about Utah's men's basketball's games for this weekend. They bring in two top 25 teams. Let's first start off with USC that they take on tonight. What do you think is kind of the game plan for the Utes going into this game?
I think they're going to focus on themselves more than anything. Chris Koyak mentioned in his weekly press conference that USC doesn't look too much different from last year, aside from the fact that they lost one of their star players. So they're going to be pretty focused in on this game. But again, they're working on themselves. They had a few mindless turnovers against ASU this past Saturday, so they're working to clean up their game. And they've also been, let's say, transitioning more of a press breaker into their practices because they had trouble breaking ASU's press. So they're going to be working on that, and I think everything's going to come together.
Now, with David Collette, he ran into foul trouble against Arizona, which really hurt the Utes. What do you think that he needs to change going into this game to really keep himself out of that? Because he averages about 15.4 points per game.
He's been one of the more consistent players for this Ute squad. Granted, he just went into the lineup late December. He's been averaging double figures for the entire season, and he scored in double figures in each game he's played in. So I just think he needs to work on keeping his hands to himself, of course, and keeping his hands up. And I think he's going to be working on that in practice. And again, he's one of the more consistent players for this Ute squad that's very inexperienced, and he has plenty of experience from coming from Utah State. So I don't think there's going to be much of a problem with that. And you saw that against ASU, he cleaned it up again. And Arizona is a tough team, and it's tough to go into that environment and play well. And the Utes did that last week.
Kyle Kuzma, he had, 26 points against ASU, had a really good game. What do you think USC's game plan is going to be trying to slow down Kyle Kuzma, because he really is a key factor for this Utes?
Well, I honestly don't think that if USC tries to focus on him too much that they're going to do a lot to halt the Utah offense, because the Utes have had 6 players averaging double figures this season. And so yes, if you stop Kuzma, that's great, but you've got to stop 5 other guys from scoring. So if Kuzma flops out, that's fine, but the Utes have other players to rely on, like David Collette.
Now, fast forward to Saturday, Utah takes on UCLA, who is ranked 4th in the AP poll. They've got a star freshman in Alonzo Ball and 3 other starters who have great experience. What do you think Utah's game plan is kind of to focus on them and slowing him down, as well as some other key players that they can go to as well?
Well, I was checking Twitter a few weeks ago when UCLA was playing, and someone had a funny tweet about UCLA's guards being guards against humanity, because they really rely on their guard play a lot. And so I think Utah just needs to focus on guarding the perimeter and forcing UCLA to go inside and use their big men, because again, it's those guards that have been doing the work for them. So I think if they can make their big men do the work, they'll do a good job.
And Utah, Cedric Bearfield, he's kind of run into trouble when he gets down into the paint. He kind of takes some contested shots that are very difficult. And even Coach Chris Koviak has talked about how, his assist to turnover ratio has kind of been a struggle for him. What do you want to see as far as him kind of controlling himself that way to kind of stop the turnovers? And because against UCLA, you really can't do that.
I think Bearfield is still getting adjusted to the college game to some extent. I think he is still familiarizing himself with the team, and the entire team has had problems turning over the ball, so it's not his fault alone. But Chris Koyak has been limiting his minutes because of the turnovers, and of course any player wants to get out on the court and show what they can do, so I think he's going to clean it up. And again, the Utes had a lot of mindless turnovers against ASU, and they're working hard to clean up their play. They want to be sharp, they want to be precise.
Well, we look forward to hopefully seeing you guys at the game tonight. They take on USC at 7 o'clock, and then Saturday they take on UCLA at 4 o'clock p.m., I think. So, hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.